Welcome to Magic Theater's 2020 Virtual Gala, Springing Forward. I am Mfaniso, playwright and proud member of the Magic family. And from all of us at Magic, near and far, we are so thrilled to have you join us for this exciting event. How wonderful it is to gather together safely again. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge this moment in time, which finds us all living with uncertainty and, for many, loss due to the coronavirus. This while necessary protests are sweeping the country, calling for the immediate dismantling of systemic racism, which has for far too long been a part of Black, Indigenous, and people of color's lives. We'd like to ask you to join us as we take a moment to honor those who have been severely impacted by the virus and its economic fallout, as well as our steadfast commitment to this essential transformation within our society. In times like these, we all have a part to play. And now, on to supporting a company that meets this moment. One that from its inception has been dedicated to storytelling that sparks rigorous conversation and self-examination, all in order to build compassion and understanding person by person until global change is inevitable. With your support, this very special company and its family of brilliant artists is thrilled to be springing forward into our next chapter and honoring the art innovators who have positioned us at the forefront of national conversation. Former Director of San Francisco's Grants for the Arts, Kary Schulman, and Magic's Artistic Director for the last 12 years, Loretta Greco. Magic Theater is a company that decided to take on two of my plays. I will never forget when I got the call from Loretta Greco herself. I was on a street corner in Harlem about to get myself some Nigerian comfort food from a little West African market right down the way. And I get a call going, we're going to do Sojourners. And I'm so excited. Sojourners is the first play in my UFA play cycle. And then, my heart stopping, going, I'm going to get a West Coast premiere. She's like, but wait, hold on. We're going to do another one. We're going to do Run Boy Run. And I froze, because Run Boy Run is one of the harder plays in my cycle. And she was like, we're going to do them both. We're going to do them together. And we're going to have a dynamic conversation around these two pieces. Magic Theater was the first institution to undertake my mission to have these plays stand in conversation with one another. And for that, I am eternally grateful to Magic. They are a company that listens to their artists and does whatever they can do in order to manifest that artist's dreams. Thank you, Loretta Greco, and thank you, Magic Theater. We all know how essential theater is, but as our dear friend Lloyd Suh says, making plays is hard, even in the best of times. During the COVID-19 crisis, it's become especially challenging, not just for us, but for the field as a whole. Magic cannot continue to be an artistic home for playwrights across the country without support like yours. You are the key to helping us create bold, dynamic new work and incredible local and national partnerships. So please consider donating tonight as we celebrate 53 years of groundbreaking excellence. Please help us raise the money to ensure that the next 53 years are just as bright. To donate at any time tonight, press the link below on your laptop, or you can text Magic Gala, all caps, no spaces, and the amount with a $sign to 41444. Again, that number is 41444. And text Magic Gala and the amount you wish to give at any time tonight. Also, please spread this information on your social media using the hashtag MagicGala2020 and share this stream on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We challenge you to introduce someone you love to Magic for the very first time tonight. Now, it is my great pleasure to introduce another member of the Magic family, the incomparable Taylor Mack.
Hello, Magic Theater. If you don't recognize me, and you know me, it's probably because you can't see my shoes. That's maybe aside the point. I don't know. That Magic Theater, they asked me to dress like I was a gala. I don't know why I chose this particular look, other than that I'm in the country and there are limited options. But I kind of feel like, you know, like I'm giving you board member. Although the Magic Theater's board members tend to be a little bit more stylish than this. But anyway, they asked me to sing a song, so I'm going to sing a song after all of that. Blah, 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 blah. This is a song from a show of mine called The Face of Liberalism. I wrote it in 2003. It was about the war, which I think is still going on. I don't know. I'm a little distracted. There's a lot going on right now. So I don't know if the war is one of those things. I think it is. And that is maybe the saddest statement that you will hear at this entire gala. But here we go. Here's my song. We've nothing to fear but fear itself. Fear itself. Fear itself. We've nothing to fear but fear itself. Fear itself. Itself. Well, I'm afraid of fear itself, fear itself, fear itself. I'm afraid of fearful people and violence from fearful people. I'm afraid of politicians and ammunition and old religions, and I'm afraid of nationalism and patriotism and jingoism, and I'm afraid of all alone, all alone, all alone. But we've nothing to fear but fear itself. Fear itself, itself. And maybe we should also be a little afraid of that bear right there. The country. I had to move because they were getting close. At any rate, the Magic, they also asked me to say a couple things about them, which is easy to do because I really love the Magic Theater so much. They've produced 3 of my shows now, and they just commissioned me to do a 4th one. The first one was A Lily's Revenge. They did the premiere of that, the professional premiere of it. Then they did here. There's been 72 productions around the world of that show because they premiered it and got it started and made a commitment to a kind of weird outsider voice. And that means there's also been, because there's a trans character in the play, there's been 72 different trans actors or gender non-binary actors who have played that part and gotten access to their professional theater in their town for the first time, most of them for the first time. So that's something that the Magic also has done. Amazing. In fact, there's been 20 premieres that they've done, and the last 26 shows they've done, 20 of those shows have gone on to have subsequent performances around the world. So I like to say that there's a trickle-up culture. It starts at the bottom, it trickles up, and it starts with small theaters like the Magic Theater, and they create the culture, and they have been for decades now. Decades. And when there's an organization like that makes a commitment to outsider voices and voices that aren't going to already be famous, all the time, and they make that commitment to those artists and they help build those visions and careers and share that with the community at large, That's the kind of organization you want to dig in. So the other thing they want me to tell you is give some money. Please give some money. I'm going to give some money. I have it because I'm in my hammock in the country. And one of the reasons that I have enough money to have a hammock in the country is because of the Magic Theater. Thank you, Magic Theater. Sorry, I've been distracted because the bears are getting closer.
Mama Bear, what you doing here?
I'm not really worried about the bears. There hasn't been a bear mauling in New England in decades. Plus, the bears like me. I'm supposed to tell you, you can donate money. There's like a scroll thing or whatever, and you can donate money by texting Magic Gala. Magic Gala! And you put the amount that you want, and you 41444 exclamation point. Up next are your gala committee co-chairs, Maureen Sullivan and Megan Levitin. That's how they did it. And so I would know how to say her name. Levitin. She's 10. But anyways, they're coming up to talk to you now. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to end up like that guy that got eaten by the grizzly bear. Or one of those COVID people that are like, COVID's not happening. I'm going to the Trump rally. Whoops.
Good evening, and thank you, Taylor, for that lovely introduction. Taylor Mack just introduced me. I can honestly say that my bucket list just got a little lighter. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome tonight. We welcome you with such gratitude. This event was originally supposed to be held in person in the spring, and then, as we all know, COVID hit. So we've all adapted, we've all scrambled, and here we are tonight, and we thank you. My name is Megan Levitin, and I am one of tonight's chairs.
I'm Maureen Sullivan. I'm Megan's mom and co-chair of this year's Magic Theater Gala. We're making history tonight with a first-time virtual fundraising party. Friends introduced me to Magic. Over 30 years ago, John Lyon was running the theater, and I was blown away by the contemporary, original, cutting edge, and in some cases, shocking drama. We became subscribers, and in 1988, I joined the board. We were all San Franciscans who loved theater, and we worked hard to make sure the Magic would continue its role of nurturing young playwrights, to give artists a voice and young playwrights a stage to bring new and exciting drama to our city. I left the board after 10 years, and my daughter joined.
I had the distinct honor of serving on the board when we hired the ever fabulous Loretta Greco. And I came of age with Magic first with Sam Shepard and attending with my parents in the 80s. And for a high schooler, hearing some of the language and seeing the occasional naked body was riveting and engaged me into theater. But then when I was on the board, I had the playwrights like Luis Alfaro and my new best friend, Taylor Mack, be the important contributors to Magic. So for me, the reason I was on the board and why I'm here tonight is because we have to support live theater. We have to support new, engaged, cutting edge, progressive theater. Nonprofits are having a hard time anyway without COVID, so we have to work especially hard now. So tonight really is about raising money and also celebrating Magic. So to that end, please know that the goal tonight is $100,000. Anything that we raise in excess of $100,000, 20% of that will go directly to the Lorraine Hansberry Theatre, whose core mission is to create theatrical works by, for, and about the African American experience. So donate right now if you can, and all you have to do is press the Magic link on your laptop or text Magic Gala, all caps, no spaces, and the amount you wish to contribute with the $sign to 41444.
Here's the deal. These are tough times. It's no secret the arts are hurting. We have to keep the artistic flame burning in our city. We have to continue to bring forward the Sam Shepards of the next generation, to do what we can to ensure that this unique and special place continues to thrive and to enhance all of our artistic experiences in the years to come. So let's raise a glass to toast Magic Theater, 53 years.
And here's to 50 more. Cheers.
Cheers.
Ricardo, congratulations on having your show at the Magic Theater. You have a wonderful cast that was performing it. One of them is a dear friend of mine, and I heard wonderful things about your production. So congratulations.
Thank you so much, Octavio. Octavio, it's such a pleasure to get to meet you in this way. As far apart as we may be, I feel very close to all of you right now. And to be just thinking about being produced on the same stage as a giant like you. You're a trailblazer. I studied you at school.
Oh my God, no.
It's much to be here in the Zoom room with you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's really my pleasure. And it's also my pleasure to be supporting the Magic in this way. I've been involved with them since I had Man of the Flesh produced back in like 1990, when I first moved to San Francisco from Texas. And I was such a greenhorn. Didn't know what I was doing, didn't know what I was about, didn't even know if my plays would ever get produced at the Magic Theater. But that had been my dream. So I was very, very fortunate to have it happen like that.
You know, it's this little nimble theater, this jewel in Fort Mason overlooking the bay. It's so gorgeous. And I fully believe they could just remount my show like that because of their nimbleness. I know there are constraints. I'm not lobbying for anything. But that kind of investment in me as an artist is something I've experienced from the whole crew, from Magic and from Loretta, who kind of has helmed that ship in a way that has really, really touched so many artists.
Yep. And you know, she's also aware of the ghosts that walk in that building. She's aware of Sam Shepard and Maria Irene Fornes. She's just, and so many other writers that have come through there that we're part of the legacy of that now.
To Loretta.
Vámonos. Vámonos. Fuerte. Salud.
Salud. Salud, suerte y amor.
For 53 incredible years, Magic has been a true artistic home for playwrights who, time and time again, have reinvented the craft of writing for the stage and for themselves, and in the process, redefined the theater canon as we know it. At Magic, we give writers a rare artistic home, an extension of faith, and the tools and time to craft their stories. That faith doesn't just last for one production. For us, it's a commitment to support a writer over the course of their entire career, enabling them to pivot in new directions and explore dynamic new ideas.
The Magic is about a legacy of thrilling, innovative, important American voices. Luis Alfaro, Octavio Solis, Terrell Alvin, McCraney, Taylor Mack, those names and so many more are what Magic means.
Magic is one of the few companies solely dedicated to adventurous new plays, with the playwrights by our side actively writing throughout the process. Ever since Sam Shepard reimagined what the American theater could be while in residence at Magic in the 70s, this San Francisco jewel has had a clear impact on both the local and national world of theater. this is still clear today. 20 of Magic's last 26 plays have gone on to have between 2 and 72 productions all over the world.
Luis Alfaro's Oedipus El Rey, which premiered at the Magic. We did it last year at the Public in its 11th production. Char White's Annapurna has had 40 productions. And particularly relevant tonight, Taylor Mack's brilliant play Here, which premiered at the Magic, has had 52 productions across the country. Just extraordinary.
You know, Shakespeare, Moliere, the classics, Arthur Miller, speak to us across the ages and are constantly being, revitalized, but they don't speak with the exact voice of our moment and the voice of tomorrow, and that's what the Magic's been about always.
Magic is dedicated to cultivating the next generation of theatrical leaders through a hands-on, season-long apprenticeship program.
Magic theater is important to me because it is what brought me out here to the Bay Area to become an artistic direction apprentice under Loretta, and it introduced me to the world of new works and to all these amazing artists that I went on to work with after, and it really set the bar for the kind of intimate storytelling and the kind of new works that I wanted to be creating.
For more than 10 years, Magic's partnership with Laney College in Oakland has enabled students to learn about the theatrical process firsthand, with full access to table reads, rehearsals, the tech process, and opening nights.
They'd go into the rehearsal space inspired, and their acting inspired, informed from what they saw.
Additionally, our Magic family playwrights spend time on the Laney campus leading workshops and Q&As with the students, and free matinees are held in the auditorium for the city of Oakland.
The results of all this? A full ride scholarship for a Laney Theater Arts student to San Francisco State.
Magic's Art and Community Program brings our work and special collaborations to the heart of San Francisco's Tenderloin neighborhood. Our Writers Education Program for children, teens, and adults in the Tenderloin focus on teaching mindfulness, self-esteem, creative storytelling, and playwriting. We also host free matinee performances of each show in our main stage season in partnership with the Tenderloin Museum. Magic has formed beautiful friendships through this program in the last few years, and with next year's opening of our new space on the corner of Turk and Taylor, those bonds are only going to deepen.
The Magic Theater is one of the most important theatrical institutions in this country.
There's a lot that makes the Magic special.
The Magic has been an essential part of my career and my life.
I've had the privilege of playing some pretty great roles that have helped me grow tremendously.
It has, for decade upon decade, introduced exciting, important, dazzling new playwrights to the world.
They say yes to up-and-coming playwrights, to up-and-coming actors.
I am so proud and honored to be part of Magic's legacy.
I'm so grateful to the Magic for allowing me that opportunity because it was truly, truly a blessing.
It's an honor to be part of that history, and I can't say thank you enough.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for having me here at the Gala. My name is Lloyd Suh, I'm a playwright, and I've had the honor of being a part of Loretta's very first season at Magic with a play called American Huangap, her very last season at Magic with a play called The Chinese Lady, and a season in the middle there with a play called Jesus in India. Now, for those of you who might have seen any of these plays, you might know that those three are just very, very different plays from each other. And that fact alone is a testament of why Magic has been so meaningful and important to me. It's a place where you know, as an artist, you have the freedom to stretch, to try things you might not otherwise try. And that kind of adventurous spirit is only possible when you feel safe as a writer, when you feel like the people that you're working with, the community that you're involved with, are really invested and care about the same things that you care about. And I know that's been true for me and for so many writers like me. And on that note, I just feel like it's an honor to be celebrating magic and its impact on the field. And in this particular moment when we're really examining the function of theater, the practicality of theater, the future of theater, what it can be, what it needs right now, and from an artist's perspective, just knowing how important as we come out of this very weird moment in time, what's it going to be like for writers who are, maybe on the margins, maybe not doing the most commercial work, artists who have often found their kinship with the magic community. And so I'm just very grateful for the opportunity to speak on behalf of those artists in thanking you all for your generous support of magic over the years, and hopefully all these very exciting next steps in magic's future. So for all lovers of theater and news stories, please donate as we continue the night. To donate right now, you press the link below on your laptop or text Magic Gala, all caps, no spaces, and the amount with a number, a $sign, to 41444. Thank you also to John Marks and Nikki Beach, Lee Wolf, Robert and Sharon Jorg, Stephen Jejos, Corky and Donna Lavallee for your incredibly generous donations. Now it is my honor to introduce longtime members of the Magic family. He got his start at Magic, originating the forever iconic Eddie in Sam Shepard's Fool for Love, and has since gone on to earn 4 Academy Award nominations, a Golden Globe Award win, and recently an Emmy Award nomination for his role in the HBO smash hit Westworld. She's been nominated for a Drama Desk Award, an Emmy Award, an Academy Award, and 3 times for a Golden Globe Award, with 1 win for her portrayal of Sarah Weddington in Roe v. Wade. Please help me welcome Ed Harris and Amy Madigan.
Good evening. Amy and I are honored to be with you all tonight, honoring the Magic Theater and celebrating tonight's 2 recipients of the Sam Shepard Legacy Award. When I got out of Cal Arts in 1975, north of LA, I did a lot of equity waiver theater in Los Angeles over the next few years, and one of those plays was Cowboy Mouth, and that was the first time I met Sam. He came to one of our rehearsals at a little theater on Santa Monica Boulevard. He was the pilot theater. And then a year later or so, I was doing a production of True West down at South Coast Rep with John Ashton, and Sam came to the show one night. We went out afterwards and had a couple beers, played some pool. Sam played pretty good pool. I can't say much for my own game, but it was nice to get to know him a little bit. And then the following year, I was working on The Right Stuff up in San Francisco, and Sam was playing Chuck Yeager, of course, and, we got to hanging out quite a bit, particularly at Tosca, Jeanette Etheridge's great bar on Columbus. And during that time, Sam asked if I would do a reading of a play he was working on, which was Fool for Love. We ended up, doing that play that fall, 1982, at the Magic Theater. Sam directed it with Will Marchetti, Dennis Ludlow, Kathy Baker playing May. It was a great success, and we went on to, work at the Circle Rep in New York for a while. And during that time, really got to appreciate, I'd already appreciated Sam's work and his writing, but I really loved working with him as a director. And he really had a lot of respect for actors, I think, and I just loved the way he worked with us. It was a really, really memorable time. Then we did Simpatico a number of years later. But in between that time, Amy and I came back to the Magic Theater in 1985. And we were working on a play by Murray Mednick called Scar. This is, I think, the first day we arrived there at the theater. It's kind of a, I kept trying to get the glare off.
The glare's on it, but
anyway, we were with our dog, Girl, and we had a great time.
Magic was very welcoming. We had a great time working on the play.
Yep. And then a couple of years ago, in 2016, Amy and I were doing Buried Child in New York. Sam and I had kept in touch over the years, and, we were maintaining a friendship, and Sam came to every rehearsal just about that we were doing A Buried Child in New York City at the New Group Theater, and he had been ill. He had already been diagnosed with ALS. And it was a pretty special time because Sam really, there was a part of him that just opened up and became a lot more accessible, vulnerable, and gentle in a certain way. And not that he always didn't have that in him, but I really admire the way Sam spent his last time being ill. I know he became, was always tight with his family, became even closer with them in Kentucky, and kept working right up until the day before he died with Patty, right? And he was a dear friend. I loved him. I'll miss him. And as long as there's theater in the world, he'll be remembered, that's for sure.
That's right.
How could I do that? I had to let him go. I had to. I watched him leave. I watched him throw gardenias as he helped her into the limousine. And I watched her face disappear behind the glass.
And tonight, we celebrate the unique artistic contributions Magic has made to the world of theater and the individuals who make it all possible. This year, we're proud to honor two incredible individuals with the 3rd annual Sam Shepard Legacy Award. This award celebrates an individual who has a special relationship to Magic and has dedicated a life to creating or supporting the creation of exceptional theater that dynamically pushes the culture forward. Past recipients of this distinguished honor include Taylor Mack, Tony Remby, John Marks, Rebecca Eisen, and Octavio Solis.
Almost 50 years ago, Sam Shepard embarked on a journey with Magic Theater, a journey that would include the creation and premiere of 7 of his most enduring works, including Buried Child, True West, and Fool for Love. Magic Theater provided him with an artistic home to explore and create and thrive during those formative years. The art he created at Magic allowed audiences to viscerally explore the essential elements of humanity, and he dared viewers to feel beyond themselves. Sam Shepard challenged the status quo and forged the way for countless other playwrights to dream and discover their own voices.
Magic Theater has continued to be an artistic safe haven for groundbreaking writers who follow Sam's path in vaulting us all forward because of art's innovators and visionaries, and especially because of tonight's honorees, Kary Schulman and Loretta Greco. Known as San Francisco's godmother of the arts, Kary Schulman is an irreplaceable member of the Bay Area artistic community. For 38 years, Kary served as the director of Grants for the Arts, the municipal funding agency for San Francisco's arts community. During her tenure, it has gained national recognition for becoming one of the most generous and progressive city arts funders in the United States.
Her work has been absolutely key to solidifying San Francisco's place as a home for thrilling art. Some of Kary's most significant achievements include providing emergency grants after the 1989 earthquake, which helped arts organizations to survive, rebuild, and thrive, and fighting to pass Prop E, a hotel tax that provides millions in fundings for the arts and secures the source of arts revenue for the first time in a decade.
She is a mentor, fighter, leader, and friend.
Her legacy as one of the most important cultural instigators in the history of San Francisco is assured. For her unwavering support, endless innovation, and for being loud on behalf of Magic, the entire arts community, we are lucky to have Kary Schulman.
Thank you, Ed and Amy, so much, and thank you, Magic Theater, so very, very much for this honor. As an elderly retired person, I didn't think there were any more of these coming, but this one was absolutely worth the wait. I met Loretta, I think, when she'd been on the job about 2 days, and I immediately knew that this was the person that the Magic needed. It was just wonderful, and the Magic has always had extraordinary leadership, artistic leadership, and board leadership, and I was very, very proud to support it for nearly 40 years when I directed Grants for the Arts. almost 40 years ago, I took a job that I loved and that wound up loving me back. And there's just nothing better than that. My heart is very, very full. Thank you all.
The next honoree is none other than Loretta Greco. Loretta is celebrating her 12th and final season as Magic Theater's 6th artistic director. Since taking the helm at Magic in 2008, Loretta has developed, premiered, and championed the country's most innovative and cutting-edge writers. Under her watch, 20 of the 26 world premieres produced at Magic have gone on to have between 2 and 72 productions each throughout the country and beyond in places like Paris, London, Seoul, and the Philippines.
Under Loretta's leadership, Magic Theater recovered from financial peril following the 2008 recession and stabilized into a sustainable model, securing the future of bold new play development right here in San Francisco for years to come. Loretta is a New York Theater Workshop usual suspect and the recipient of Bay Area Critic Association Awards, Drama League Fellowships, a Princess Grace Award, a Sundance Illuma Directors Fellowship, the recipient of the Jean Price Award, and an honorary MFA from American Conservatory Theater.
In 2019, she was awarded SDCF's Zelda Fischhandler Award, given to one individual who has made unique and exceptional contributions to their community through their extraordinary work in theater. Loretta has spent every day of the last 12 years nurturing this artistic home where theater makers can find a warm meal and a good laugh and a stage to innovate time and time again. I think we are all in agreement when I say that the American theater is not ready for the level of talent and ingenuity that Loretta is about to release as she begins the next step in her career. She will be greatly missed, but we will all watch with awe as she begins the next part of her journey.
We are honored to present the Sam Shepard Awards to artistic visionaries Kary Schulman and Loretta Greco.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Amy, for that beautiful introduction and for staying such a special part of the Magic family. I like to think of theater as this beautiful trajectory of legacy, which of course started with the Greeks, but I'm going to start with Beckett. And upon Beckett's shoulders stand Sam Shepard and Maria Irene Fornes. And a few decades later, the great Paula Vogel. And upon those three sets of shoulders stand so many extraordinary Magic writers: Christina Anderson, Nilo Cruz, Taylor Mack, Lloyd Suh, Linda McLean, Infiniso Udafia. And in a few more decades, another set of groundbreaking writers who are tackling the great issues of their time will stand on their shoulders. And so it goes. So thank you for this award named after Sam Shepard, who changed everything we do. I loved him to death and I miss him. And this honor is even sweeter because it's in honor of him. I began this adventure almost exactly 12 years ago to the day. And I just want to say what a privilege it is to be able to lead a place that believes in saying yes. Our life in the theater is full of so much rejection, so many no's. And so to be able to say yes to so many beautiful, imperfect, raw, extraordinary works of art, and to so many incredible artists who are thinking the big, important thoughts and trying to move the culture forward has been such a privilege. I really do believe when you take a leap of faith in a writer, they can do anything. I'm also really honored to be celebrated next to the intrepid funder, Kary Schulman, my friend. And it gives me, I think this is a great excuse to give a last round of thank yous, at least from my position at Magic, to the major funders who have funded us for decades at Magic, and without whom we couldn't do what we do. So a special thank you to San Francisco Grants for the Arts, to the Hewlett Foundation, the Schubert Foundation, the Mellon Foundation, to the Venturous Theater Fund at the Tides Foundation. Thank you for being our net. When you're 100% risk and your mission is all about the new, it's nice to have a net, so thank you. None of this could happen. It's not a solo endeavor, so I also want to thank some individuals who should be celebrated regularly, but aren't. And so we're going to fix that right now. So I want to send a special shout out to Marielle Heller and Julia Brothers, who over cheap cake and even cheaper champagne helped me to find a path forward in the very beginning when the proverbial shit hit the fan. I have my notes now because I don't want to forget anybody. I want to thank Missy Kirchner, Karen Rose, Becky Eisen, and Michelle Benjamin, who said not on their watch and really meant it. I want to thank Jacqueline Scott, who has made dozens and dozens of our scenic worlds more true with her impeccable eye. I want to thank Patty Lockhart and Awele Makiba, who within a couple of inspired hours turned a San Francisco calamity into an Oakland triumph by conjuring our robust Laney College collaboration, which is now in its 10th year. I want to thank Shirley Fishman, Louis Douthat, Jane Ann Crum, my friends and the fiercest dramaturgs in the world, who really made every script they touched smarter and more human and a hell of a lot more fun. I want to thank every trustee of every not-for-profit theater in the country. You are our heroes. I want to thank especially Magic trustees over the years, especially Tony Remby and John Marks, for their strategy, their generosity, and for always bringing the conversation back to the art. I want to thank Laura Penn, Philip Himberg, Chris Himba, and Jim Nicola for offering guidance and affirmation just when I needed it. I want to thank Drew Boyce, Hannah Kim, Jake Rodriguez, Chris Ackerlin, Wenling Lau, Alex Jager, Tanya Oriano, Eric Flatmo, York Kennedy, for conjuring so many beautiful worlds on our stages. To Sonia and Kevin, and Stephanie, Jackie, Karina, Sierra, Aaron, Susan, Richard, and Jonathan, our fearless staff, and the dozens of brilliant Magic apprentices, and to Susie Lampert for a decade of service. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And finally, to Sarah Huddleston, sound designer and director of production extraordinaire and my partner in crime for so many years. Thank you. Thanks to each of you for your passion and for making magic magic. Thank you for this recognition. It's been an incredible run. It is time for me to find my next impactful adventure in the field, and it is time for the next generation of artistic leadership to take the reins of magic and to blaze a whole new path. I'm exceedingly grateful to all of you and for all of it. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us tonight and celebrating all they have done for Magic San Francisco, our country, and the world.
Enjoy and thank you.
Stay safe.
Before we jump into conversation on Tanya Oriana's gorgeous set for Ricardo Perez Gonzalez's Don't Eat the Mangoes, beautifully directed by David Mendizabal, I'd like to take a moment to ask that we acknowledge that all of us in the U.S. are on stolen land. Whether you're on Ohlone land, where we stand now at the Magic Theater, or on the unceded land of the Wappinger, also known as New York City, or anywhere in between, please take a moment to honor the ancestral homelands you are inhabiting. Thank you.
you know, you in your time at Grants for the Arts, I think your roster was 220 arts organizations?
Give or take.
So, okay, I know it's hard to pick which sibling you like best, and I'm not going to ask you to do that, but it's so hard. So the triumphs are really juicy, and I'm wondering, what were some of your just moments that you still to this day relish?
Personally, I'm extremely proud of the trajectory of the San Francisco Ethnic Dance Festival, which started out as a little show that was produced in community centers around the city and has become this world-renowned activity, and it just breaks my heart that it can't happen now. And the 41st annual, which should have been this summer, couldn't happen. For the 40th anniversary, it was on the stage of the Opera House, the San Francisco Opera House, for the first time. And it's just a glorious experience. But to you too. I mean, you know, I love all my children. We love all our children. But what stands out for you in your career?
It's true. I would say when we mounted the Lily's Revenge with 50 Bay Area artists of all walks, I mean, it was just the most exquisite community of humans. 50 people doing a 5-hour, 5-act with Kyogans in between. There was no ego. The company could have done it for another 2 months. They adored one another. But I remember being on this stage, it was about 3:20 a.m., and Sarah Huddleston and I had just concluded the director's notes because we had 6 directors. And we looked at each other and we said, if we can pull this off, we can do anything. And so that was a real moment. I mean, Taylor wrote that just that creation was so moving. And to conquer that, it gave us more chutzpah. That it didn't matter that we were a small theater. It didn't matter that we had a small budget, that we really, really could tackle anything.
Who is that masked them? Who am I? Hello, my name is Sean San Jose.
Hi there, my name is Sarah Nina Hayon, and you might recognize me from productions such as Se Llama Cristina.
I'm Julia McNeil. You may have seen me at Magic and Alive the Mind.
First play that I ever saw in my life was a Sam Shepard play at the Magic.
And as an audience member sitting in that sweet historic space, you can feel the sweat and joy of just decades of artists, everything they've brought.
So moving and raw and urgent.
To sit in that audience and watch shows that have moved me and changed me, inspired me.
There's a depth, there's a magic that happens because of the depth of giving that has gone on in that space.
Having that intimacy at the Magic Theater is what sets it apart. Having those potent writers and amazing designers.
Working on new works as an actress is not for the faint of heart.
You may get changes in dialogue, final preview. It's exciting. It's what you want to do as an artist.
And let me break this down. Magic seeds the national field and does so with an incredible talent of Bay Area actors. Talent. 82% of each season is cast locally with Bay Area actors and Bay Area stage managers. Now I want you to run those numbers with any other theater and see who matches up on that size. That's belief and payback and growth and seeding. Magic is dedicated to discovering and cultivating the talents of new local designers and artisans on top of all the other great artists that they bring in.
Everyone who works here, from the amazing interns to the world-class designers, are unified in support of that effort. It's a safe, true home for artists.
Unless you're aiming for comfort and stagnation, taking risks is imperative to the creative process. And that's why it's so important that you support the magic this evening.
If you give $125 now, you will get a link to access to the music of Jake Rodriguez, which you've been hearing tonight at the Gala. He creates soundscapes for theaters all over the Bay Area and elsewhere. He's brilliant, and the music ignites the imagination. Go for it. $125, that's a couple tanks of gas that I bet you're not using right now.
If you believe in art, you believe in community. And if you believe in art and community and you stand for San Francisco, then you have to stand for Magic Theater.
And now I'm handing us back to the brilliant Enfiniso. Have a wonderful night.
Your impact is going to help support our apprenticeship program, our artists and staff, fund our beautiful productions, maintain a one-of-a-kind home for playwrights, and keep the magic legacy alive for the next 53 years. Thank you so much for your amazing gifts and giving tonight. Thank you to Claire Tompkins, Gerald and Linda Vurek, Karen and Ron Rose, and Judy Sheldon. A huge thank you to our Gala committee and board. This year has been full of tremendous change and enormous challenges. We're going to face plenty more in the coming year. Magic is determined, dedicated, and excited to move forward with your help. Next season, they will be introducing 3 thrilling world premieres from 3 astounding women. These groundbreaking plays, Sam Chance's Monument or Four Sisters, a sloth play, Miranda Rose Hall's The Kind Ones, and Liz Duffy Adams' The Broken Machine, will undoubtedly shape and define essential national conversations that will be taking place over the next few years. These plays, like everything on Magic Stage, are substantive, transformative, and challenging. They will move you, they will gut you, they will remind you of the power of magic, of theater, and of community. Magic hopes to welcome you all back to the theater when it is safe to gather again. I want to let you know that this party is just getting started. Our auction platform will be up from today until August 13th, which includes packages like our Cape Cod and Montana adventures, restaurants, gift cards, and much more. Share this video on social media and don't forget to use #MagicGala2020. Once again, we thank you for your support from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you to all of our special guests tonight and every single person who tuned in. And thank you especially to Loretta Greco for her tireless 12-year pioneering of Magic Theater. We love you so much, and we will miss you dearly. This is for you.
Loretta, oh, my colleague, my friend.
She's pure magic. An incredible director, artistic director, mother, friend.
I can't thank Loretta enough.
Dear friend and collaborator, an unwilling mentor.
Your leadership, your humanity, your commitment.
I actually truly love her with every fiber of my being.
Hi, I'm Loretta Greco. I'm the new artistic director at the Magic Theater.
I read about the magic when I was a kid. I read about this crazy place in the 70s. For the future of theater is it reminds people that it is essential to take risks.
I am genuinely thrilled that you are here this evening to honor the leadership and artistry of my dear friend Loretta Greco.
Loretta, so I remember the first time I met you, and I think about the difference now. I just think about how much I've grown, how much you've done for me in that time. Your bravery, your honesty, your openness, your commitment, and how all of that has just made me braver, more honest, more open.
I love Loretta. Like, she's rigorous in a way. I like a healthy dash of rigor inside of my art. And the way that she works with actors, the way that she conceives play, the fact that she's completely unafraid and accepts the challenge that is inherent to my work and doesn't have me shy away from it. In fact, will ask questions that'll walk me further into it.
One of my favorite Loretta memories was before we went into rehearsals with Orr. We spent 2 whole days in her apartment in New York, drinking coffee, probably drinking wine, reading the play out loud and talking through it in the most thrilling detail, most useful, delving in to every line in the play. And she had the most wonderful way of asking just the right questions.
Dear LG, as my first mentor of the professional theater, you taught me that to be an artistic director means to know how to set a table, how to read, how to appreciate a famous BLTA from Linda's, how to love the many ironies of the world and San Francisco, and how to always fight with passion.
What is there to say? You have done many, many great things. Your leadership has been outstanding. You are a wonderful artist and a wonderful friend.
Loretta stands for and makes it possible for other people to face a huge challenge joyfully and trust that it can be done, no matter how difficult it is. And that is the joy of being an artist.
Loretta, who created this environment and this theater that allowed me to tell a story that I did not think would ever see the light of day, because I'd been told there was too much Spanish in it, or it was too Puerto Rican, or it dealt with these huge issues of trauma. And Loretta was not afraid of any of that. And
she's fearless, isn't she?
I don't think there's as good an artistic director anywhere in this country whom I've ever worked with than you. I say this both as a guest artist at the Magic and as a producer for you when you were directing at Cal Shakes, creating one of the most beautiful pieces of theater we've ever had. And in both instances, your depth of humanity was matched and just in direct relationship to your depth of talent. The way you thought about plays, the way you think about productions, the way you integrate design and acting, it's deep, and very few people are like that.
Loretta Greco, I love you, I love you, I love you. Thank you for knowing how to talk about plays and for knowing how to talk about acting and for always leading with love and hope. And you're just the best. I love you, darling.
And now it's your turn to go and spread your wings. And we're so excited to see where the journey takes you. I love you, Loretta.
A tip of the hat to you, Loretta. And I'll see you down the road.